you. Lose my mind, give me a sign. Hit me, baby, one more time.
Hi!
Hi, that was a cool intro.
Did you like that?
Yeah, it made me look super cool.
That's because you are super cool. You are so super cool. And you know, what I love about you is that as soon as I think I have you figured out, you transform into something even way cooler. I'm like, whoa.
Aww.
Like you're always one-upping your cool. It's
That's
rad.
so kind. That's so kind of you. I'm trying to grow with my art, so
It's working.
Yeah.
It is working, girl. So welcome to Doris Jones, Labors of Love on the Spot. And for those of you guys who are watching, this is Brooke Baker. And so Brooke, for everyone who's watching or will watch later, you have to let us know, confirm with the audience that you are literally being put on the spot. You did not get to prepare. You don't know what the questions are. And you literally are totally going to be legit on the spot.
Yep. That is true.
Okay. So,
but I don't know. I joke with my fiance. I'm like, I think I'm smart, but I'm like a slow smart. I'm not like a super witty, like come up with it. So he's like, yeah, I know. I'm like, you don't have to agree with that.
Right. Agree. You're
no.
Ask for an agreement here. Sorry. So the first segment is what we call rapid fire. And I'm going to rapid fire some words at you. And I want you to know these are personalized. These are totally Brooke personalized words. And
okay.
I know. So you get to respond however you want. You can give me a one-word answer or you can with it. It's totally your time. It's totally whatever you want to say.
I could give you onomatopoeia. I could just like make sounds.
Exactly. Yes. I mean, you can get up and walk or dance. I don't care.
All right.
You're on the spot. Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. Let's go.
Your first word is kook.
Kook. That is me. Kook. Do I need to explain it, or am I just giving a word?
Your spot, girl. It's your spot. What comes to mind other than that's me?
God. Is a disaster in the ocean on a surfboard. Someone who, me, that gets in people's way, bangs up boards, just gets destroyed. Yeah.
That's you're having fun on it. You're enjoying it, right?
I am. And I hope to someday not identify as a kook anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. The next word is transform.
Transform is inside out. From the inside out. It's not just I like to be characters, but I also like to I'm in recovery and I do a lot of therapeutic work, so there's a lot of internal work that goes along with that too.
Nice.
Am I doing this right?
Yes, ma'am. Absolutely. Okay. And there's no right or wrong.
So okay.
It's Brooke Baker on the spot. So
okay. I just want to make sure I'm not being like.
Well, if you don't like it, you can listen to your next word. Tantrum.
Okay. Tantrum.
You ever throw one of those?
Good God, yes. Something I grew up doing. Something I learned was like a normal way to respond to something I was unhappy with. Don't do it so much anymore.
Nice. I can relate. Flip-flops.
What's the next one?
Flip-flops.
Flip-flops? Oh my God, the only thing I wear.
Nice.
if I'm wearing shoes at all.
Shoes are overrated. Tic-tacs.
Tic-tacs? Or TikToks? Tic-tacs?
Tic-tac? Tic-tac?
Tic-tac? I kind of look like I look like my favorite flavor. Tic-tac.
Oh, that's awesome.
Orange Tic Tacs are amazing. Oh my God, I want some of those right now.
Makeup.
Ooh, love. have way too much of it. Don't get it in your eye or it's all over. I learned the hard way. Once you get makeup in your eye, it's all over.
Right.
Might as well forget about it. But like art, makeup art is very interesting to me.
Some of the makeup art stuff I've seen of yours is it just blows my mind.
Thank you. I replicate a lot of stuff. A lot of the stuff is not original because I'm such an amateur that I'm just like I'm just trying to do it, get inspired by other people. But
the fire look, I don't know how many times I've watched it.
Yeah, you seem to like that one. Yeah, I like that one too.
I like the color red.
Demon. Demon. Ooh. See, I don't know. I think I like most people have some. And battled with demons, and I think it's an essential part of recovery work. Yeah, don't have too many of those chasing me anymore.
Right?
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
Improv.
And something I used to do. Actually, did stand up for a couple of years, and
I'm not shocked.
Yeah, I did stand up for a couple of years, or not a couple of years. No, like 6 months, please. I didn't do it that long.
Stand up. I used to do stand up. It can feel like 6 years when you've done
for real. For real, it was. Terrifying. It was like a bucket list thing, and I took a class at the DC Improv when I lived in DC.
Okay.
And it culminated in a show at the Improv in DC. I got to perform at the Improv.
That's amazing.
It was one of the most amazing experiences of my life.
Okay, surfing, which we've talked about a little bit.
Surfing, there's a lot to learn. Surfing is not easy. But it is one of the most exhilarating feelings you could probably ever experience when you catch a wave. It's special.
That's awesome. Okay, love
is my higher power. Love is very important to me. Love is all. If I could pan around and show you my apartment, it's like there's love written everywhere. And it's I feel a lot of love. I tend to over empathize with people because I have a lot of love to give.
Yeah, so. I think without even having ever met you, and I still haven't met you in person, that absolutely was one of the words that immediately came to mind to put on the Brooke Baker list. Okay, Kit Kat.
Kit Kat, one of my favorite candy bars.
Okay. Yeah,
for sure. Between Twix and Kit Kat, there's no competition.
You're gonna have to go to the little convenience store after this and get snacks.
Yeah. Yes. For sure. Create is something I do daily. Whether it's a silly video or a piece of art or makeup art, which is called an MUA these days for makeup art.
What that was? Is that a MUA? Explain that real quick. We can go.
MUA is stands for makeup artist.
Okay.
And so if you ever seen that I'm just talking about makeup art when I post those initials. And there's some amazing professionals out there that I would aspire to be too. It's something that there's a question mark about whether I move into that professionally or not, honestly. I love it.
That was one of the things that I love this experience, because when I was doing, looking at things and preparing for today, I learned, I was like, what does that mean? And I looked it up. I'm like, that's so awesome.
Yeah.
Okay. Fairy.
What's funny? I was thinking about this the other day. One of my first memories of creating art as a 5-year-old was a cartoon I made, and they were fairies.
Oh, how cool.
They were called the Smuckers.
Oh, that's awesome.
I often drew them pregnant. I'm not really sure why. I didn't even know what it meant to be pregnant at 5, but they were pregnant a lot.
Maybe one of these siblings.
It was weird. But my like a little fairy cartoon is my very first cartoon I ever created.
Oh, you could totally like add that to your Elsa work and take off. Man.
Yeah. Well, that was my first career aspiration as a 5-year-old, is I wanted to be a Disney MGM animator.
Mm-hmm.
I thought for sure that's what I was going to do with my life.
That's cool. Well, you got plenty of life left. You can always do it.
Yeah. I don't know if I want to do that though.
Okay, your last word is shackles.
Shackles. How the heck does this word work? I just want to go to a dirty place with that.
Yeah.
I have a filthy mind. I'm not really a kink person, but that's where my mind goes.
Hey,
makes me
judgment here.
All right. It makes me think of like tying somebody up.
Let's do it. Before we transition to the next segment, for anyone who's watching, be sure to put a comment or a question. Particularly, we want questions, lots of questions for the audience portion. So Linda is watching. She said, "So happy I caught this. Just shared." So she's sharing the word. She commented 50 Shades about your word shackles.
Yeah.
The movie.
Yeah.
Okay, so now we're going to move into rapid phrases. There's only 3 of them. They're maybe a little more in-depth than just a word, but just take it in, take a beat with the phrase, and then you go Brooke Baker on it.
Okay.
The first one is let go of control.
Ooh. Something easier in theory than is to put into practice, but so important because we don't have control over anything but ourselves. That's something I stand by.
Nice. Yeah. Okay. Take care of each other.
God, I wish people would do more of this. I have been very steadfast in my like wanting to stay home longer than, even when lockdown is, where the restrictions are lifted. I want to stay home longer. I wish there was a bigger percentage of the population that would want to do that, because that's part of taking care of each other. Like, I'm not afraid of getting it, but it's my personal and social responsibility, I think, to do what the experts say we need to do to get this pandemic under control.
Yeah.
So, we want to take care of each other. We're interdependent.
I love that word.
Yeah. Very important.
Yeah, perfect. Very important. Linda said, loves this segment, and the majority agrees with you. So the last one is, and I'm take it in, do something for the kid in you today.
Boy. Yes, I was just talking to a client about this. I was asking him, like, what did you do as a kid? Like, because I do that. That's what I do now. In quarantine, I've fully embraced my inner child. Part of that's been healing the inner child. Part of that's been doing the things I enjoyed as a child, which is like roller skating, solving a Rubik's Cube, which I never actually accomplished when I was a child. I just moved the stickers around. But now I can actually solve a Rubik's Cube for real. And create art. That's what I did. That's what I did like a lot when I was little. So, yeah.
I think in a lot of ways, that's how I found you, was kind of, I was in that same kind of place and just, I don't know, came across a video or something. I can't remember which one it was, but I was like, oh my God.
I was probably behaving like a child.
Must know this girl.
Yeah. Yeah. Whenever I see a TikTok where there's like a little kid voice, I want to like embody the little kid. And yeah, there's several of those videos. Yeah.
I love the voiceover ones that you do.
They're fun. They're harder than they look, but they're fun.
Linda says blow bubbles and coloring.
What is it? Blow bubbles?
She said blow bubbles and coloring. She likes
Blow bubbles and coloring. Yeah.
I could see you in a total video with bubbles, lots of bubbles.
I could see myself inside a giant bubble.
That would be so rad.
Yeah, it would be rad. Yeah, I think I agree with that.
Okay, so now I'm going to ask you 5 questions that are the Dory 5. They are like personalized for you. They're not questions that I took from anywhere. They're not questions I asked of anyone else. They're totally and completely unique to you.
Okay.
And the first one is, in the process of being creative, is there anything that you find taboo when it comes to your tastes and preferences for your creations? Something taboo. You would not do it.
For creative purposes, cultural appropriation.
Cultural what?
Cultural appropriation, hands down. People, I ask people like, what characters do you want me to do? People will say Mulan and Moana, and I'm like, no. I'm like, no. Or Jasmine, or there's princesses that I won't. I'm sorry, I'm not going to do them because what I'd have to do, I feel like, would be really inappropriate.
I love, see, this is why I love that that was amazing. I love your answer.
Yeah. Wow. I'm all about being a white princess because that fits the bill.
I can totally understand where you're coming from. It's kind of like, and I know this, you're on the spot and this is not about me. I don't do anything that makes fun of people in a mean-spirited way. That's a big no-no for me. And so I was curious for you, what would be your big thing?
Yeah, I've goofed up. I've made mistakes here. I did a little thing on trolls. People who make these like, troll it like someone who makes mean comment. And I did this little segment that was meant to be funny. That was like, trolls are people too. They're like,
oh, that's adorable.
They're like, you must have compassion for them because they are, misogynistic and homophobic and they have mental illness. And someone called me out on that, was like, can you not put mental illness, lump this in with, and I'm like, you know what? You're absolutely right. And I made a public amends about it because that's true. Like I have mental illness and then my whole work is about helping people with mental illness. So like sometimes I don't realize that I'm doing it, but I'm happy to take that feedback and not take it personally, but make an amends for it and not do it, be aware of not doing it again.
Wow. Thank you. That's great. Yeah. Thank you for that answer. Okay. Do you consider yourself spontaneous?
I can be. That's a good question. I can be, but I tend to be like as a little kid, I've always been a big planner. Like I would always, like even as a little kid, like tiny kid, I would structure out my day. Like this is what I'm gonna do. I'm flexible, so I will have a loose plan. More than loose. I'll have a pretty good idea of what my day is.
Right.
But I can be flexible. Like if somebody needs me or they, want me to hang out, something like that. So.
Well, I want to tell you, as someone who's been enjoying your work, I find that if you do a lot of planning and technique, it's not obvious. It's so well done in terms of like wow, like in just watching, it's like wow, she just jumped up and did that. Like that's how easy it comes across in just the beauty of it. But it's definitely clear to me that you also have some planning behind it, and that was why that was kind of one of the reasons I was curious. So
I'm glad you bring this up because I think spontaneity must be really important because my most liked, I have like about 30,000 likes on the TikTok. Like nobody likes my TikTok videos on TikTok. But the one that's most popular and has been seen over 300,000 times is a video that I took when my fiance was filming me. We had just gotten out of the ocean, and I pulled my wetsuit over my head and started to act like Beavis, like Cornholia. And which was so totally spontaneous, and it's the most liked thing. Like, so maybe I'm glad you bring that up because it's giving me something to think about. Like, maybe I need to be more spontaneous because that's what people like.
And even though you are, and that's great, and I think that's creatively that's a great idea, but don't don't stop what you do and the way you do it. It doesn't come off as this contrived.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Okay, that's good to know.
After the completion of a project, what do you like to do the most to wind down?
Start another project. Oh my God, that I'm being completely serious. Like, I'm like, what can I do now? You know, like, lately I've been a little bit more tired. I will not lie, I like to binge watch some Netflix. If I find a good show, I will, compulsively and obsessively watch it but yeah, like usually it's like that good feeling. I want to feel it more. That's the addict in me. It's like, oh, I want more of this. So I will jump right into the next thing.
I think that's probably why I laughed as hard as you did.
Yeah. Did you relate?
I so relate.
I'm
not good with idleness, so.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're clearly creative in the realm of transformation, as I said, and I just love about you. What was the most difficult challenge or creative transformation that you have pulled off?
I can't. Goodness, I don't know. I'm trying to think. Honestly, what's funny? Like the first thing we'll go with the first thing that comes to mind. Like the most recent. I do all the Elsas and the Annas, and I just posted about. Like now I'm like the Queen Anna from Frozen 2. Well, that outfit doesn't fit me at all. Like, I cannot zip that sucker up. So, in terms of challenge, to make it look like I actually fit in this outfit when I don't, and it's actually popping out everywhere, and I'm trying to and I'm very uncomfortable, and I'm trying to keep a smile on my face. That was challenging. That was very challenging.
I'm sorry to interrupt.
No, go ahead.
You're doing that on, like, what you're describing. You're on a video with kids, right? Like wearing. Yes. Yeah. Oh wow, that would be challenging.
Yes, I'm just looking through my Instagram to see if there's anything. Yeah, nothing's been terribly challenging, but I want to challenge myself. I want to push myself more and more. Okay. But that's not the greatest example, probably. But nothing's been too terribly.
I've only had one job outside of healthcare that was not healthcare related, and it was a portrait studio for kids. Right. And what you just said to me, you're dealing with that while you're working with children and you're performing for them.
Yeah.
Yeah. To me, that sounds like no. I'm not trading places with you on that one.
No. Yeah. The costumes are so hot. I have like thank God I have an AC unit and I crank it up. I sit in these kids and I'm like sweating.
Right. And
the way trying to keep a smile, like I'm a Disney princess, so I gotta keep smiling and not act like I'm like unbelievably uncomfortable.
Right. All right. Well, okay. Last one.
Okay.
What creative goal do you want to accomplish in the upcoming future?
Ooh. I want to create an artistry website that showcases a lot of this stuff. And it's weird. People have been encouraging me to like consider acting, and I something I started thinking about, and someone posted that recently. Someone responded to one of my posts with, "I could totally see you in the movies, and something's going to come along that's going to be a sign. Please, be open to receive it." And I was like, whoa, and I'm so spiritual, so I'm like, oh, and I didn't know what to do with that because I've never acted before. I've done stand-up, but I've never acted. I've never believed that's something I could do, but it's something that appeals to me. And so like doing some acting and whatever that, like, I write, so I don't know if it's like a book or a screenplay and also something I star in. These are some like things that are
That's a great
aspirations.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be 43 this year, so like some might say I'm a little too old to get started in that biz, but no one's gonna believe I'm 43.
Yeah, you don't even look. No, you do not look 43. Although I was going to tell you, when I did stand-up comedy, one of the mentors I had said there were two kinds of stand-up comics. There were the comics who were really comics, or there were the comics who were using stand-up as their stepping stone to acting, performing some other way.
Right.
I know for a fact I am far better as a writer, director of comedy, or like doing that kind of part where comedy is concerned. I can perform, but it's not my forte. It wasn't, Okay, so real quick, for anyone who's watching, I know it says that you guys are watching. I can see you. Go ahead and start throwing some questions down there in the comments. And while we're collecting those questions from the people who are watching, Brooke, I'm going to bring Elena in the studio.
Okay.
And she gets to put you on the spot with her own 3 personalized Brooke Baker questions.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, see?
All right.
And being on the spot is why you don't know that this is happening, because
it's fun.
So I'm going to bring Elena into the studio, and I'm going to have her ask you those questions.
Okay. Hi, Elena.
Hey, Brooke. All right. So my first one is in relation to something you said earlier that I might relate to. Not sure. Can you please define what it means to be slow smart?
Yeah. So I do think for the longest time I didn't think I was smart at all. Like it took me a long time to believe in that I'm an intelligent person, but I arrive at I'm like being slow right now. I arrive at the smart idea or whatever it is. Like it takes me a minute to get there, where it's like I'm not like witty, like can come up with. That's why I don't think I'd really make it as a stand-up comedian, because I'm just not that quick, like quick-witted.
I hear you. I can definitely relate to that. Cool. My second question. So in relation to what you were saying about the pandemic, do you think being interdependent socially, like after everything's lifted, is the same thing as benevolence?
Yeah, I guess in a way. To speak more to this, I don't know if this is going to answer your question, but like my ideal is if I had a bigger reach, like this is the only reason I would want celebrity. Like this is the thing, like I would love to act, but I don't want the celebrity that comes with it. But what I like about celebrity is that you have a big reach. And if I had that kind of reach, I would start a movement that would mean that like try to get the people who are okay. Like I'm okay being in this situation. Nothing about my lifestyle's changed, because I've always been a therapist via video. I've done teletherapy for like 4 years now. So little of my life has changed, and I feel very fortunate in that way. And there's other people that I know that are comfortable with staying at home longer. So if I could get a significant portion of the population to agree to stay at home longer, then I think we could get a better handle on, like I think we won't have these like major outbreaks that we're likely going to have when restrictions are lifted and everybody floods the community again, and then
Right, I totally agree with that.
Quarantine.
Yeah.
Right.
Because people are going to go crazy as soon as things are
we've seen what happened in Colorado. Yeah. I don't know what the outcome of that is, but I can't, it's not a good idea.
Yeah.
True.
Cool. Well, my last question, I love that you're a beach person, so am I. You said catching a wave is exhilarating. Does anything else bring you the same feeling? If not, why? And if so, what is that other thing? Has to be the exact same feeling of exhilaration.
Yeah.
Level of being heightened.
Right. It's adrenaline in it. Yeah, you know, I'm a rock climber too, which I haven't done in a long time because I really only do indoor climbing. And I don't know when I'll do that again. But that's pretty exhilarating too when I get make it up to the top of a really hard route. So usually it's physical in nature. Like my art projects bring me a lot of joy. But like the adrenaline, you know, there's a reason why recovering addicts tend to turn to surfing as their new drug of choice because it does it for us. You know, it gives us that high.
Definitely.
Yeah. So there's not a lot that comes close to it.
Yeah. Running on the beach does it for me. But.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cool. Well, those are my 3. Thanks for allowing me to jump in here.
Thanks, Elena.
Thank you, Elena.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
Okay, so I went through the comments, and Linda said she thought, no way, you don't look 43. I was thinking maybe 30.
Thanks.
That's right.
I never grow tired of hearing that.
I agree with her. And she's a very wise woman. And she also wants to know, what inspired you to work with kids?
Well, it's weird. Like I think I open this creative channel every morning. And it's been really strong during quarantine. And I do these characters. And one day I threw on an Elsa costume because people kept saying, please be Elsa. I was like, okay. So I threw it on and it just came to me like, wouldn't this be cool? Like, I know parents are going bonkers. Like, wouldn't it be cool that kids could talk to Elsa? And it blew up. Like, I have had so many of these Elsa chats, and I'm never around children. I don't have children of my own. I don't plan to. I'm literally like, unless I go. I have like a few friends with kids, but like I'm rarely around kids, but I love them. They're friggin' adorable, and I enjoy it so much. It is so life-giving. You know, like it's there's, you know, I could do 4 in a row, and it's just like it is like the highlight of my day.
At what point, after you started doing that, at what point did you just start being the other sister? Isn't there the other girl?
How do you like her more? Have you seen the Frozen movie?
I've seen the first one. The second one's in my watch list. Yes.
The second one is amazing. I would highly recommend it. But you know from the first one that Anna kicks ass, right? So it's funny because whenever I get into these, you know, everybody loves Elsa, and I guess it's because she has powers and she's got the blonde hair and whatnot. So every time I get, like, from the very beginning, I get into these chats with these kids, and I'd ask them what they like about the movies, and they'd like rave about Elsa, and I'd be like, what about Anna? Like, she doesn't have any powers, but she's amazing. Like, I couldn't have done anything without her. Like, trying to try to, you know, get the lesson, you know, in. Because they're like so much lost on these little kids. These are very sophisticated movies, right? They're so sophisticated. They're so beyond what kids can comprehend. And there's such good messages. And I love Anna. She's my favorite. So like I was like, I want to be Anna. But you know, being Anna is like, I can't talk about myself like that. You know, I can't be like, I'm so amazing, aren't I? So now I kind of prefer to be Elsa so we can talk up Anna, you know, like. So yeah, it just spiraled because the outfits are beautiful, the hairstyles are beautiful, and I just kind of got obsessed. I had never seen the movies before I started doing this, by the way.
Really?
I'd never seen the first one. I never seen any of it. I had heard the songs. I had a general idea about it, but Now I'm obsessed.
Long,
They're so good.
right?
Yep.
Yep.
They're the best.
And I saw one of your posts about how you were just like kind of blown away by how big it got so fast and how like, whoa, like I'm booked. Oh God. That's amazing.
Yeah, like I had a woman contact me once and was like, I have 15 families who are interested. And I was like, okay.
Hello.
Yeah, and they made this really generous donation. Yeah, it was really cool.
So another question, well, more like a suggestion is maybe you should do children's short indie films.
Oh, interesting.
Run with that one.
Indie films.
Children's short indie films.
Interesting.
And then the other question is do an alter character hero that's your own, like create a total whole, right? What would be the Brooke Baker hero that she would just create out of the blue?
My goodness, that's a good. I need to work on that. She would like. Oh gosh, what would she do? What would she look like? That's such an interesting question. I don't know. She'd be some like. I wouldn't want her to have special powers. That's one thing. I'd want her to be like this amazing philanthropist. I think I'd want her to be Angelina Jolie.
I was gonna say it sounds like Batman.
Yeah, well, yeah, I don't want to. Yeah, Batman's got his.
I heard no powers in philanthropist and thought Batman.
Yeah,
he has really great toys.
that's true. Maybe I want to be Batman.
Really rad outfits.
Right?
So
right? I just can't talk. I can't do that lower register. That throaty voice.
That was Mr. Bale's version. Not all of the did the deep. So for watching, we're taking questions for the people watching. So throw one in comments. In the interim, what is your favorite word of all time?
Favorite word? Oh my god, I love words. My fiance would be like, yeah, the words. I throw out words out there that he's like, what the hell does that mean? What's a word that I use a lot? Oh my god, this is a hard question.
Transform?
Maybe. I use it a lot, don't I?
It's in your Instagram name. It's in your YouTube name. It's in your TikTok name. I don't think it's your Facebook page name. I mean, I'm just teasing. Yeah, I'm totally, but I'm just saying.
Well, that's a good. Okay, yeah, I'll take it. I have changed my handle like a bajillion times, and I finally changed it to Transformation Junkie because it fits so like my fiance Jonah loved it. He was like, "That's so great. That is perfect because the word junkie. I'm a junkie, but like not that kind of junkie anymore." Right. But I am totally a junkie for transformation. So it's like I do love.
And as I totally, I mean, like you transform. Like it's not even just a word that you're using. It is the literal fact. Whoa, like completely, 360 degrees different in a lot of the different things you've done.
Well, can I share a secret?
Oh.
I edit those photos. Like you should see some of the okay, a little preview. Would you like a little preview of what's coming next? Now that I'm kind of done with all my characters, I'm doing style and makeup throughout the decades.
Ooh.
Starting with 1900s.
Oh, that's going to be
really fun.
That is going to be amazing.
It's really cool, and I already have a ton in the queue. And I just did a Twiggy one, and it looks nothing like me because I altered the shit out of it to make me look like Twiggy. So that's one of my secrets. Like I do legitimately put on wigs and clothes and makeup, and I do all that. But I do some, I've learned a lot about photo editing and yeah, it's just it's fun. I don't see the harm in that. I don't.
It's your art. I look at it as part of how you create.
That's why we have these tools, these apps. Why not use them?
So Romanza says hello. She's from she's not here in California. She's I think she's in Louisiana. She can tell me. She can tell me if I'm wrong. Linda thinks the superpower you came up with would inspire kids. Would be great. So, what's your least favorite word?
Perfect. I was just writing about that today. Because I'm writing about my experience of getting my eye surgery done in January.
Okay.
And my ophthalmologist is this lovely young guy. I'm sure he's younger than me. And he uses the word perfect all the freaking time. Like, you're a perfect candidate. Everything is going to be perfect. The surgery went perfectly. And I'm like, can you stop using that word? Like, I'm trying to get away from that word because there's no such thing. Like, that word is so loaded and so a word that we need to get away from and maybe eliminate from from our vocabulary.
What word would you replace that word with?
A lot of stuff. Enough. Like one of my favorite affirmations is I'm enough. I'm good enough, but I am enough. Period. It's a complete sentence.
Love it.
And it's okay to make mistakes, and we all make mistakes, and like that's the kind of stuff I work on. I do inner child healing work, and that's the kind of stuff I'm flooding my stuff with these messages that I didn't get when I was growing up.
Thank you for that, because I think that I think me and along with anyone else who gets the opportunity to watch this will appreciate hearing that.
Yeah, and I'm happy to talk to people about what that kind of work looks like. Not to become anyone's therapist, but to pass along the script I use for the inner child healing meditation, the process that I go through. And hit me up. I'd be happy to share it. It's powerful work.
Thank you.
Awesome. Yeah.
So Linda says, coming from a former personal stylist, that's a bomb idea. The idea you had. She can't wait to see it. She's probably going to go off this broadcast and go follow you on all your stuff.
Cool. Yeah, do it.
And Romanza is in Marrero, Louisiana. So she's all the way over in Louisiana. Magazine and commercials perpetuate the perfection ideals. Think like the Kardashians. What do you think about that?
The Kardashians are so beyond perfect.
Yeah.
Are
they enough?
I don't know about that. I have nothing against them. I think I have nothing against them and their success or any. I have nothing against them. I think they're quite entertaining, but they've gone to great lengths to look a certain way, and something that is so obviously fake does not translate as perfection to me. It just looks unnatural, and it's not attractive. Men don't like that stuff, right? I put on a bunch of makeup and my fiance's like, no.
I don't know who the quote belongs to, but basically you can always tell the character of a man by the woman he chooses. And so I think that if that's what a guy likes,
the
authentic, then I think it says more about him than anything. So, okay. So my next question is, what turns you on?
Sexually?
That's the question.
Not left up to my interpretation.
You can answer it however you want, Miss fiance getting married, girl.
What turns me on? What gets my engine revving? Oh my God.
Is Jonah not there?
No, he's not. No, he's working. No, but Jonah's beautiful, man. Oh my God. He's like an Adonis. He just has to have his shirt off and I'm pretty much happy.
Did you notice that one of your guys' yoga couples post pictures in your video?
Yeah, I did. Yeah. He's amazing.
One of my favorite yogis is Rodney Yee.
Oh yeah, I know Rodney is.
Yeah, and him and his wife have a lot of pictures like that I just adore. Like, to me, it's bringing the spiritual practice to a place of creative art. When I see couples, or even just an individual doing some of the poses, like the one of you where you are on your own, and I think it's a black and white that I put in there too. Those are like my favorites.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what turns you off?
Oh. What turns me off is like trying too hard. Like so one of the things, like Jonah joked about, like what was it? I was leaving his place yesterday morning, and we don't live together. So I was leaving his place yesterday morning, and he joked about driving around in his convertible with my dog. I left my dog there, and he's gonna like go pick up chicks, and I'm like, no, you're not. You have no game. You have no game. You're not gonna get in and pick up anybody. And that's one of the things I like about him, is that like he literally has no game. Like people, like guys who try too hard and think they're hot shit and stuff, that is just like not.
I would totally agree with you. Totally.
It's
So Elena says they're what the cool kids call extra. I think she's talking about the Kardashians. Maybe we've been talking since a little while since the comment, and then Linda agrees they're not perfect at all. She thinks the message to the followers is off. Do what we do and you'll be happy. I think that's what she's saying.
Yeah.
And Elena was saying that the cool kids call the Kardashians extra.
I'm not more extra.
I don't even get that.
Yeah, that's what the kids say. Extra. Yeah, I'm picking up on that lingo because I work with a lot of Gen Zs.
Okay.
I work with a lot of Gen Zs, and they say stuff, and I'm like, what does that mean? But I don't know I'm old enough to be their mom. But I'm like, okay, I'll look it up later.
What sound or noise do you absolutely love?
Ooh, sound or noise do I absolutely love? Why is this so hard to answer? I love, this is gonna sound so trite, but I love the sound of the ocean. The waves breaking, like you just close your eye. Yeah, I mean, that's just such a beautiful sound. It's so peaceful.
There's only two white
I like wind chimes a lot. I love wind chimes.
Oh, now you're talking. That's my favorite. I was almost gonna agree with you on the ocean thing, but then you mentioned wind chimes, and I had a pair of wind chimes I lost a couple years ago, and I still haven't replaced them. Okay, what sound or noise do you hate?
I was waiting for that. That one's much easier to answer. Much easier. I hate the sound of revving motorcycles. Like when people are leaving a meeting and they're like, and then my dog tries to claw my face off. I hate that.
Let me see.
Necessary. And I hate.
I don't know if I can roll my eyes enough.
I know. Roll them right out of your head. I know. And I don't know if you've ever had a sound bath, like a gong healing, like a sound bath. Have you ever had one of those before?
Yes.
I can't deal with them. They're supposed to be really healing, and it jars it actually ratchets up my nervous system. I can't take it.
I guess I probably haven't had the similar experience, only because it wasn't what you're describing. It wasn't one of those things, because at the baths like you're talking about, isn't that like an hour of it or something?
Yeah.
I don't think I was exposed to it that long. Thank God.
Well, most people love it. I feel like I'm the only oddball on the planet that can't tolerate it. It's like it like really, really bothers me.
Yeah.
So
Well, I'll have to think. I don't think I'll ever be sitting in a whole hour long of it, but I do like the Tibetan bowl thing. But
yeah.
I don't know if I would want to do that. Definitely, I'm check mark right on there with the motorcycle thing with you.
Well,
Not-
and you know what? Do you ever go to Joshua Tree?
I've been there once.
So here's the caveat to that. Here's my exception is if you go to I love Joshua Tree. I'm absolutely in love with that magical place. But there's the Integratron. Have you ever heard of the Integratron? It's like this amazing dome-shaped building that has like amazing acoustics, and it's like very famous. It's very famously known for having like that is a sound bath that I can tolerate because it's kind of magical. So
Good to know.
check
Okay,
that.
real quick. If heaven does exist, what would you like God to say when you arrive at the pearly gates?
That's hard because I don't believe in heaven. But you said if it did, to be fair. So, what would I like him to say? Like, what are you doing here? Your work's not done. Get back down there.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
Like, we've got more work for you to do. We're just going to put you in another body to do it. Is that cool? Okay, cool. Go.
Yeah. You got more healing to do. So the next one, if you could damn one person to hell, who would they be?
Oh my God, I cannot. There's such an obvious answer that I'm just not willing to.
You don't have to answer. Okay.
Yeah,
So
I just can't. Yeah, I just. Because I don't wish even on the people that. It's because I know there's trouble underneath the troubled, most like awful people, and the people who've done awful things to me. I still have compassion for them because I know that they've been through some shit, and so I don't have that in my. It's just not in my being. So.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Thank you, because I wouldn't have wanted it to be me, but so we're winding down, and I just I want you to know how grateful I am that you took time out of your life, took time out of your schedule, took time out of the work that you do, which is incredible. Not just the artistic creative thing, being in the profession you're in it's such an honorable thing that you do. It's just, and to take time out for us and come on and get to chat about whatever. I'm really, 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 really grateful.
Oh, I'm grateful.
So I'm sorry, what?
It's an honor. Thank you.
Good. So guess what? You are officially off the spot.
Ah, what does that mean?
That means that for the next couple of minutes, just a few minutes, you get to ask me a question of your choice, any question, whatever you want, and put me on the spot.
It's gotta be good. It's gotta be good, Doris. I love what you're doing here, by the way. And this is all professional and lovely. And what inspired you to start doing this?
So my art page that I have on Facebook, the Doris Jones Labors of Love, I started it 5 years ago. Ironically, around the time I was dating a surfer who started teaching me how to surf.
Wow.
And I sketched him one night. And I hadn't sketched in a very long time, and he was just blown away. And he's like, what? Like, who are you? Like, he was so completely floored. But when I told him that I didn't show people my work, he wasn't like upset in that mean guy way, like that would scare a woman. He was like, what? Like legit, like, no, that's not okay. And you have to share your talent. You have to express your talent. There's people in this world who really, really should be seeing this so they can feel better, get inspired to create. So I started showing my work. I started showing my art. I actually started posting poems on there and pictures that I had that were buried in boxes and closets. Like I had 36 unfinished art pieces that with his musings, whatever, inspiration, I started it. And so the page is 5 years old. So when this whole pandemic thing started, the whole reason I called it Labors of Love, Brooke, is that a lot of everything I do creatively is a labor of love. It is absolutely a work of art or work of whatever out of love. And for me, I love highlighting other artists. I love finding other people. I love, creating, collaborating. The comedy thing I was telling you about, one of the reasons why I stepped away from stand-up was that I directed and wrote a pilot, and we did it, the whole thing improv with me and a couple of other comics. And it taught me real fast, real quick, that I much preferred being a writer, much preferred being the director as opposed to the performer. Right. So it all tied into this, and it was like, okay. And honestly, really, there was a group of us from the fellowship who wanted to watch movies together. Mm-hmm. And I was trying to find a streaming service that would actually stream a movie without the glitchy crap that Zoom has. Movie streaming. So I stumbled across StreamYard. See, now you're getting the honest answer. And once I came in here to try to put together some movie night, I'm like, hey, this is a nice little platform for like doing a broadcast TV show. I'm going to make myself a talk show host.
So cool.
And real quick, we have 3 minutes before we sign off, and I want the world, whoever was watching right now or watching later, Brooke Baker is our first female guest of this show on the spot. Yes, I have a thing about it. So I'm so proud, so beyond honored that you came on and agreed to be here and agreed to be our first female beautiful creative talent for us to share you with the world.
Thank you so much for asking.
You're welcome. So before I sign us off here in just a minute or two, Brooke, why don't you tell the people watching or who may watch later about your Elsa, where to find Elsa? Where do they find you?
Yeah. Well, the easiest way, I have a website called www.bookelsa.com that hopefully is not problematic with Disney. I don't know. We'll find out. But it shows all the Elsas and Annas I can be, and it's a great way to book me. I can also easily be booked through Facebook. That's a lot. That's how people usually find me, is that people are lovely in sharing my posts, and it gets spread around. I think initially I thought, hey, this might go viral. I always think that about things I post. I'm like, this could go viral. And I don't know how I would handle it if it did. But it's just I think that isn't the website it's at the bottom. Yeah. So that's an easy. There's a contact form on there. It's really easy to book with me.
And you've had some parents write some wonderful things that are on your website too. It's just
they do.
Yes.
They do. I mean, they love it too. And it's so funny. Can I say this real quick? I had a dad on there once, where like the kids were talking, and the dad he popped his head in the camera and was like, he's like, I'm a fan of Elsa too. And I'm like, okay. I was like, you totally do naughty things and think about it.
Oh. Okay. One real quick question, and then we're going to sign off. As a female surfer, how do you assert yourself in the lineup with the guys? And
I said, get out of my way, bitch. No, I do not. I am excuse me. Like I'm trying to. I get in there. I try not to get in anybody's way. It's really important to pay attention to who's behind, whose wave it is. I'm that's a learning curve to figure out, to know whose wave it is. And it hasn't been that hard because I don't go anywhere where there's a lot of really good surf. I don't surf the reef breaks where there's a lot of really good surfers where I'm going to get myself murdered. I did get yelled at once, and I almost tried to fight that person, but that's a story for another time.
Well, I thank you, and I know you already know this. I'll probably pull out highlights of this, so be expecting to see highlight reels after the show.
Cool.
And again, Brooke, thank you for coming on today.
Thank you. You're doing an awesome job. I love this.
And don't go anywhere. I'm gonna close this out on the thing, and then you and I are gonna chat offline.
Okay. Sounds good.
If I can figure out that real quick.
My loneliness is killing me. I must confess, I still believe when I'm not with you. Lose my mind, give me a sign.